think we're live. This was a lot of work to get this up and running, but it is a complex
Yeah,
setup because we want to be coding together, also seeing you, hearing you. Maybe you can do a little test to see if you are actually
yep,
on.
I can see it.
Yeah, great. Do you have sound from that live stream as well?
I can hear you. I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, great.
Yes, I can hear both of us.
Awesome, awesome.
Perfect.
So yeah, we're good to go then. Hello everyone who's joining and who's watching this later on. A little bit of delay. We wanted to start a bit earlier, but we had to set up this whole streaming setup. I've never really done that together with someone on the other side of the world before. Navdeep is joining us from Australia. I'm here in Berlin. And as announced on my Instagram, we're going to build an accountability buddy today. We're going to build an AI system that holds you accountable to staying consistent with your habits. And I have this problem myself right now. I was in a very deep coding phase the last few months where I just did nothing else than sit right here and code the language learning app that I've been building that is already live. And it was only possible with that kind of intensity to bring that to the App Store, to actually launch it. Without that urgency, without that intensity, you know, you just don't get anything done because it's all difficult, it's all complex. You need to sit here, and my life kind of suffered in that time. I didn't really go to sports, I didn't really do my meditations properly. I kind of neglected a relationship that broke as a result, I guess, or probably was meant to break anyways, but my life it was a bit out of control in those months, and now I want to get back into the disciplined lifestyle that I had before, where I would get up at 5 or 4:30 a.m. I would do my meditation right away. I know what to do in the morning, and it's pretty hard to do that. But there are certain methods that are well known to get you to reach your goals and to stay consistent with your habits. And I read a few books about that. I'm sure most of you have seen those books: Atomic Habits, Tiny Habits. So much personal development literature on this topic. And what they always say is, in the end, what matters most is that you have some kind of social accountability. And so it means you're accountable not just to yourself, but ideally also to someone else that you kind of care about. And a system that a lot of self-improvement communities have come up with is to have an accountability buddy. So when you join a mastermind, when you do any kind of men's work or coaching work, you often get an accountability buddy. And with that buddy, you kind of go on a call every day and you say, hey, I've done my workout today, but I didn't do my meditation. And then the other person also has to tell you what they did and what they didn't do. It's a nice system, but to be honest, it doesn't work. Most people don't want to do that, and they don't manage to keep that up for a long time because it's quite a pain to have to call someone else to set up a time to make your routines kind of match so that you can do that regularly. So what we're doing today here is an experiment where we want to automate that. We're going to just see if it's possible to build an AI accountability buddy. And the cool thing is that that accountability buddy doesn't just check in with you. It doesn't just make you feel a bit bad when you don't do your habits. It doesn't just make you feel great when you actually do your habits, but it can track the habits for you in your systems as well. And that's another critical element of every personal development book out there: tracking your habits, actually putting in some kind of note when you do your meditation, when you do your workout. Everyone who's serious about actually reaching these goals in any of these areas, whether it's health or nutrition or career, they're going to measure their progress. If you go and you work out in the gym, there's going to be some people who just mess around, and there's some people who come with a notebook. If someone comes with a notebook and writes it down, pencils in every single set, you know that guy is going to probably crush it. Those are the people who take it seriously in every area of life. People who want to really succeed, they track their progress. And so habit tracking is very common now. There's lots of apps for that. But again, there's a big problem with it, which is it's kind of painful to open the app. You can easily forget it, especially when you're aware of the fact that it's going to make you feel bad. No one wants to feel bad. So in the evening, you're going to just distract yourself with all kinds of other things in order to not look at this habit tracking app, because if I look at that, I just feel so bad. 0, 0, 0, 0, haven't done any of my habits. Ooh. Right? You stay away from that. We want to fix this problem as well with the AI accountability buddy, because with the AI accountability buddy, it checks in, you tell it, hey, I did my meditation today, but I didn't do my workout. And then it goes into the software and it tracks for you. It has access to the software. It can have access. That's what we want to build today. Whatever habit tracking app you use, if it's a more modern one, it probably has API access. The most modern ones, like this one I'm using here, Habitify, even has MCP, which is a protocol so that AI agents can easily communicate with the system, extract data, and also write data. So we're going to build that. And there's different apps that people use. You can probably use this and adapt it to your own habit tracker. Me and Navdeep, we both use Habitify, so we're going to build it for Habitify. But the vision is for this to be pluggable into all kinds of other third-party apps. And Navdeep is a big runner. I'm starting to be a runner, so we're probably going to think about connecting Strava as well, so that you tell your accountability buddy in the morning, hey, yeah, I did my 10K run yesterday, and then it goes into Strava. It creates the activity for you. You don't have to push buttons anymore. If you're into working out, there's different workout apps. I like Heavy because it's built by a friend of mine and because I think it's very, very intuitive. There's lots of workout apps like Strong, I believe, lots of AI workout apps. And I want to build this system to the level where I can say, hey, yesterday I did my push workout, but I did 12 reps in the end instead of 10. So I increased 2 reps. And then it goes and it logs my standard push workout with that little addition or change of a certain weight, a certain set. It should know all of that. We're going to open source this thing though. So you can actually adapt this, you can fork this, you can build it the way you want. So this is an open source project that is actually being born live on this YouTube stream right now. It's a historical moment, maybe. We haven't really thought of a name for the project yet. For now, we're just going to call it Buddy. Just Buddy. It is your buddy. It is hopefully some kind of personality that becomes part of your life and that makes reaching your goals almost impossible, because it's there to remind you every single day, and it knows what you've done, it knows what you haven't done, and there's no incentive to lie to this. There's no incentive to not talk to it. It helps you just by checking in, and it's obviously quite empathetic because modern AIs have really mastered that art of being empathetic, but we can tell them to not just be empathetic but also be a bit demanding and motivating. So that's my little intro for you guys out there. Navdeep, what is there anything you would like to add?
I think we're good to start.
Yeah, good. So we're going to build this whole thing with Claude Code. And initially, when I thought about it, I was going to build it with OpenClaw. But Claude Code has added so many features in the last few weeks that we don't need OpenClaw anymore. And it's going to be easier for us to build it all in Claude Code, because also the MCP access for these third-party apps, this is often kind of standardized in a way where it plugs in nicely into Claude. So let's just start a Claude session. And this session will actually just be more about planning, really. We're going to plan the project together first. And if you were there in the last live stream that we did a AI ideation live stream a few weeks ago. We talked about GSD, which is this kind of plugin for Claude Code, which allows you to plan complex projects. And this here is a very complex project, so we should systematically plan it. That's probably going to take us a few minutes. So what I like to do here, I like to just dictate my my idea, and then have it create a really systematic plan and ask me all the questions that it needs to know about before making that plan. By the way, I see that on the stream page you're still seeing my desktop and not my coding editor. Why is that? We might have to change the settings in my OBS streaming software. Display capture, ultra wide, restart capture. Yeah, now it's showing the coding window, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I want to build a accountability buddy that is essentially an instance of Claude Code running on a always on machine, and I want to be able to chat with that Claude Code via Telegram, and I want to send it my update about my daily habits. I want to be able to tell it which of my daily habits I performed, and then that Claude Code should go and track my habits for me in my Habitify app, which is a habit tracker app which I use, which has MCP. So we can install an MCP server so that, or it has an MCP server so that we can actually easily communicate with that habit tracking system. And then it should basically send me a message back to motivate me and to ask any questions if anything is unclear, and to give me praise, but also give me a bit of motivation when I'm lacking behind in my habits. Also, on a given time, I mean at a regular predetermined time in the day, it should proactively check in with me. And if I haven't tracked my habits yet, which I will probably never do through my apps anymore, once the system is actually running, I will not use the apps directly anymore. But if I haven't tracked the habits also through a voice note yet, then it should prompt me to track my habits. So I have never really built this system before. This is a bit like OpenClaw, but using Claude Code with all those new features that Claude Code has. You probably have to look up a lot of recent online pages to learn how this works, because it might not be in your current training data. We will use something called channels, which will allow us to connect OpenClaw to a Telegram. We'll probably use something called dispatch. I think that's what is used currently for making kind of cron jobs in a Claude instance. And yeah, eventually I want to have this run on a remote server that's always on. But that's probably not so important for now. We'll just run it locally. Okay, so this was my transcription here. This was my instruction for the initial planning. Let's see what comes out when I do this. And I probably should have used GSD to already initialize this planning process. So I'm just gonna add that here. Let's use GSD to plan this project thoroughly. It's probably smart enough then to just activate GSD, even though I didn't actively choose the GSD command here. But yeah, it's creating a new project now with GSD, which is a framework, just a framework to create very detailed, structured plans for big software projects. And I use it for even small software projects. As soon as it's a bit complex, it just helps you question, it helps you structure the thoughts, and it asks you the questions that you didn't even think about. Like now it's giving me some questions here. So it says it's given me a great starting picture. Before I build out the project plan, I want to sharpen a few things. Let me walk through what I'm hearing and dig into the details. You want to text your buddy on Telegram like you text a friend. Hey, did my meditation and workout today, but skip journaling, and have it understand that, log it in Habitify, and talk back to you like a coach. Yes. What is it? Why is this cut off? Plus, whatever. When you message the buddy, what does the conversation look like? Okay. Interesting question. Sometimes it asks stupid questions, right? That's AI. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So here is our chance also to nudge it and to tell it, hey, I'm not sure if you understood this correctly. So if you ever feel like it's a really stupid question, you should always use this type something here. But for now, let's see. Casual free text. Did meditation in gym today. Skipped reading. Natural language. Figures it out. Structured check-in. Buddy asks about each habit, one mix of both. More like casual, I think. Casual free text. Because I want to talk to it without any restriction. I just want to like minimize the resistance. So it should be possible for us to just be on the toilet and say like, yo, I did this and that, without any structure, right?
Yeah.
The buddy.
Unless it's also like sometimes Claude Code gives you options like what do you want to do, like how it is doing over here. If it can do something like that, I feel that could also be really helpful.
Could be interesting, yeah. Probably a bit more complex.
Mm. Yeah,
So first version.
I think let's just go with casual.
Yeah. When the buddy proactively checks in, what time and what tone? I guess evening, right?
Yes, mostly evening.
Good. You mentioned voice notes. How important is that? Okay, good question. Voice notes probably a bit complicated. I know in OpenClaw it's kind of implemented out of the box. I can talk to my OpenClaw with voice, and I didn't have to do a lot of setup for that. But with Claude, probably better to just go for text in V1, right? Not needed. Nice to have. Well, here, not in V1. Okay, submit these answers.
So it's just going to be like the user is just going to the type in the prompt. It's not going to like speak it.
Exactly. Yeah, he's gonna type it in at this point. I think for version 1, we should just keep it simple. How many habits are you tracking? See, again, this is a stupid question in a way. Should be flexible. Shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it should be dependent on how many habits you're tracking on your Habitify or whatever habit tracking app you're using.
Exactly. Most people have 2 to 10. Okay. It's asking stupid questions because what we're doing here is pretty new, and yeah, it's an AI native project. So AI doesn't understand what is really, really important about it. It just doesn't understand. It should really go and research MCP from Habitify right now, but it's not doing that. It's asking some slightly irrelevant questions. What kind of accountability style works for you? Yeah, let's say direct and honest. Should the buddies track streaks and patterns over time? Should the buddies track streaks and patterns over time? No, this will be done by Habitify. Submit. Okay, now in the meantime, while this thing is thinking, I want to just open up another project real quick that I worked on earlier, where I did something like this, and I was focusing on voice interaction. There I wanted it to be a live voice accountability buddy. You can call it, calls you. That was the idea back then. It calls you on your phone. So I built this. I'm just going to bring that up on the screen here. It's also open source, so you will find it in my GitHub. It's called something like, yeah, AI Accountability Buddy. It's a public repo. And in here, I already had this kind of pattern where it does a briefing it looks at all the habits using MCP with Habitify, and it gives an overview of where the user is currently. So it looks at, hey, how many meditations have you done in the last few days? So if the user hasn't done any, then the model will immediately be aware that this is something to probe for. So we said in the evening it should do some kind of proactive check-in. Before it does the proactive check-in, it shouldn't just say, hey, what's up, man? Did you do your meditation? Did you do your run? Did you do your workout? It should first look, which habits has this guy been strong on and which habits has he been slacking on? And then it should probe like that, right? It's like, hey, man, you didn't do your meditation last few days. Hope you got it done now. Maybe that's the way we could think about it. So this kind of pre-call briefing that I called it over here, we can probably take a lot of that and bring it over here. I'm just gonna see if I have that repo already on my system. No, I'm going to just clone it so we can access this and reuse it. Okay, let's see how this guy is doing. What do we have? Do you already have the Habitify MCP server set up, or is that part of the build? Well, Habitify has created an MCP server, right? You have to tell it. And we have to ideally give it the documentation as well. So the MCP server is really what is done by the external party. And we are going to be the MCP client. So let's just see what Habitify has built. Habitify has, there's also actually a kind of community build, open source, but there's also an official Habitify MCP server. So we should look at that. Here we go. Habitify MCP. You can do it with Claude, ChatGPT. And we're just going to give it this link and say Habitify has an official MCP implemented. Do you already have a Telegram bot token, or do we need to create one? I think we need to create one. Yeah. I have so many Telegram bots. I always think I could just reuse an old one, but let's just create a new one. Is this just for you, or should it, yeah, eventually public? Everyone should be able to use this. We're going to make it open source. Yeah. And ideally, people should just be able to clone our repo and then with one prompt, set it up. So the repo should be built in such a way that any AI agent, any capable AI agent can just spin this up for you, and then it's running on your system. And if you want it always on, then you just have it run on some kind of always on system, like a Mac Mini that's running, or a remote server. It's not going to need much resources. So you can just run this on a $5 a month, maybe $1 a month rented virtual private server somewhere. How familiar are you with Claude Code channels and dispatch? Well, I haven't used them, actually. I haven't used them. This is, for me, it's a learning project. I haven't used them. Local dev, how do you want to run it? I'll just direct on Mac. Or should we use Docker? What do you think? Docker or direct on Mac?
I think it depends how it's gonna run on the server.
Mm.
Like if the environment is going to have an effect,
yeah,
then yeah, we should probably use Docker.
Gonna make it a bit more complicated, I think.
We can probably ask it like which one would be better.
Yeah.
Like for the production deployment.
Yeah. Should the body have a distinct personality or name? Oh, we should have said chat about this, because here we were putting in an answer, but this is not an answer. This is actually a question. So we're gonna say
No.
chat about this. Docker is the way to go. It packages everything cleanly and makes deployment to any VPS. Okay. Right. If you're so sure, why did you ask? Should the body have a distinct personality or name, or keep it neutral? Give it a character. Yeah, give it a character. What's working look like? Core loop works. I text it, it logs habits, it responds. That's enough. I think that's enough for V1. What else is here? Core loop plus the evening proactive check-in, full experience, core loop check-ins, motivation, and it actually feels like a coach. Maybe the evening check-ins are pretty important too.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just tying down our vision, because in our mind it's clear, it's pretty clear, but we're not aware of all the gaps in that vision. And actually, when you talk to AI and you have it ask all these questions, you find out that actually your vision wasn't clear enough. So that's the first step. We're still finishing it up, but probably in a couple of minutes we'll get to start implementing. I understand what you're after. Okay, he got the idea. Now he's going to create a specification file that's actually going to summarize exactly what we're building. A very high level summary doc, not with the details of each step, but with an overview of everything that needs to be built. Great. So while this is going on here, I'm going to now clone in that other repository I told you about, an earlier project. I'm going to call it, I'm just going to clone it into that. Let's make a reference folder. Oh, it's been too long since I was on that page. By the way, Navdeep, could you check the health of our stream for a moment?
It's still going strong.
Nice. All right, now it's asking us some stuff about the working procedures for GSD for this framework. There's different ways of working with it. We auto approve changes. How thorough should planning be? Standard or fast? I think standard or fast. Standard. Run plans in parallel. Yeah. Commit planning docs. Yep. Let's go. So now it has created, I think, already a project MD, which is the file that summarizes all the design, high-level design decisions. And it's not too long, not even 100 lines. This is what we're building.
Ooh. That's pretty concise.
Very concise, right? But yeah.
Does it also provide you with the architecture and stuff?
Not much detail yet. This is like more of a user story kind of thing. Some technical constraints, key decisions. No, it doesn't really have the architecture right now. This could be one of the early steps that we do afterwards. Research before planning each phase. Yeah. Research, yeah. Verify plans will achieve. Actually, I'm not gonna do this research thing this time. It's not gonna be super helpful. We're gonna do the research in our head and ourselves, because we know much better what we want. We already have a clear idea of what technologies we want to use. We want to use Claude Code, the new features of Claude Code. Verify plans will achieve their goals. It's not necessary. This is verify work satisfies requirements. I'm tempted to say no. I just want to go a bit faster. Which AI models for planning agents? All right, we're going to do quality here. We want to get the best. Opus 4.6, basically everywhere. I'm on the Claude Code Max plan, paying $200 every month, but I don't use it at all. I don't ever get limited. In the last few months I was building, so I was using it every day for 5-6 hours, but now I'm taking a break and not using my subscription at all. Research the domain ecosystem. I'm not sure. This is especially valuable here. Okay, if it says so, let's do it. Okay, now it's starting some research. And while it's doing research, let's also do some research ourselves. We're going to research how to make Claude Code kind of run like OpenClaw. Claude Code setup OpenClaw alternative, I guess. All right, here's Cole Medin. I think it's a guy I look at a lot, actually. I trust this guy, he's a smart guy, so let's have a look.
Bosnia is a lifestyle and pizza oven brand. Last year, we put out 4,000 social posts.
I have never seen a project blow up as much as security issue because of some issues. That's why I take inspiration from these other tools like OpenClaw. That's what I want to show you how to do right now. Now, I have already shared some of the skills that I have for my second brain. So there's a video I did on my channel that I'll link to right here if you want to check that out. I will be sharing a lot more on my channel in the coming. So anyway, I want to really quickly cover some of these security issues with that allows attackers to steal all of your data and keep. These are the things that I've replicated for myself. And I want to stay pretty high level here because I encourage you to go through this process yourself. And it is so, so easy. And so within OpenClaw, we have the memory system, the heartbeat, that's the proactive nature of the agent. We have the channel adapters and the skills registry. These are the 4 core components that work.
Yeah, okay. So this memory system, I'm not exactly sure how we're going to replicate it, but if you went through this video, you would learn how to do that with Claude Code. Heartbeat is basically that dispatch where it automatically triggers some work. It can come to life in the middle of the night or whenever you want it to and do something. You running without the user prompting. And then the third one over here was what? Channel. That's like being able to connect it to Telegram. That's should be easy to do. And the last one is skills. Okay. Now we probably don't need a lot of skills. Nothing super complex that we're doing. So let's just have a look at how he replicated the memory system for Claude. By the way, when was this? We have to always look at when was this, because if it's too old, then Claude might have already come up with a much better inbuilt solution, but it's not too old.
That's what I wanted to build for myself. And so I'll show you here how each of these features, I have built it into my own second brain, starting with the memory system. And take a look at this. The memory files that I have for my system is very similar to what is built into OpenClaw. And that is on purpose, because what I did is I cloned the repo locally. I took my coding agent, which is Claude Code, I pointed it there and I said, look at how they built their memory system, and I want you to build it for me, adapted to my tech stack for my second brain. And it thrived on this example. Let me tell you, coding agents work really well when you give them good examples. So if we're working on top of something that is simple and elegant and just works really well, that is the ultimate brain food for the context for the coding agent. And so it one-shotted this whole thing for me and even adapted it to my code base. It has the same RAG strategy with SQLite. Markdown is the database. And I also added Obsidian for syncing, because something that I want to make a video on my channel soon, and let me know in the comments if you're interested in this, is I took my second brain, I deployed it to a VPS, but I still want to have quick local searching when I'm using the Claude Code CLI locally.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he did something similar. He put his Claude Code on a VPS, and instead of having it track his habits, what it does is it tracks his thoughts. That's what a second brain is. I talk about it a lot. Actually, like 5 years ago when I started this whole coaching and going online, I was always telling all my people, everyone I met basically, and especially people who came to me for coaching, you need a second brain. And back then it was a bit hard to build a second brain. You had to kind of manually set up Notion or Evernote, or now it's much more fun because you can talk to an AI and it puts everything in the right place and it orders your entire knowledge. It can just replicate, you can just represent your entire memory in a digital system, so you don't have to remember everything in your head anymore. It's just all in some kind of database. He's not really telling us exactly what we need here, but he's telling us that it's possible to replicate Claude Code, to replicate OpenClaw kind of with Claude Code. So let's just see if there's something more relevant for us. I'm probably gonna have to change the search a bit. Claude Code run on VPS with dispatch. Cool. One day ago. That's always a good reason to look at a video when it's one day.
What would you tell a man who can scroll for hours but can't work for 10 minutes and hates himself for it every night?
Liam Otley has just shown how he can use his AI assistant through Telegram to manage a large chunk of his agency. And Jordan Platton also has an AI assistant managing his client operations. These are two of the biggest names in the agency space, and they're all building the same thing: a personal AI assistant that runs 24/7 and handles everything from revenue tracking to content to client management. Now, I've built mine, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how you can build yours. Now, this information you're seeing on screen is exactly how my morning briefing is structured. We've got information about my schedule, the revenue for the month, of course this is dummy data, then we've got different actions that are prioritized for the day, and then also reminders as well in terms of what I need to focus on. Now, this process can be entirely adapted to your business, whether you want to see information about content or the meetings you've got coming up.
By the way,
You can also have
we can't hear you. We can't hear the audio from the video.
Oh, damn. That's weird, because you said that it is possible to hear your voice, right?
Yep.
But it's not possible to hear the YouTube. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, well, I'm not gonna watch that much of this anyways. Let's just scroll through this quickly.
go through those for you. Essentially the gateway. So this allows you can have an Anthropic, a bot, and the topic. You added your bot to the group. Now, once you've completed step 4, the different aspects of your team is that you need emails. It can then update your calendar based on specific emails that come through.
Okay. This guy is still researching, apparently. He's doing the same thing that we are doing, looking at online articles, maybe some videos as well, and trying to figure out how to build this properly. And we have some more output already. You had a look at this already, Nadeep. What did he create here?
We have another look. Desktop schedule task.
I think he got the idea pretty well. So here's a key statement. In the summary, it says, the critical insight from research is that this is not a traditional application. This is not a web application. This is not a server. There's no custom backend. Claude Code is the runtime. It hosts the Telegram channel with the plugin, with the channel plugin. It connects to Habitify via MCP, and it provides the AI coaching intelligence. The entire application is a Claude Code session launched with the right flags, plugins, and a well-crafted system prompt. That's right.
Yeah, I think for the first version that should do.
So now the question is, how should we tackle it? Because now, this research process here, it's going to find some stuff, it's going to make some decisions, but we have to make sure we understand what's going on and where we're going, because it might make big mistakes with such a new project, such a new idea. So we have to really think for ourselves here, what direction we want to move, how do we want to tackle this, how we want to take this problem apart and make incremental process. What's the first step? It's asking us which core loop features are in V1. So kind of a good question in this spirit. Habit list awareness. Bot reads your habits from Hootify. Well, yeah, that should definitely be in there. It should know. Free text habit logging. Yes, it should be in there. Yes, it should be in there. Progress summary. Yes, so all. Next. Which coaching features are in V1? Man, it's still asking these weird questions. Coaching. I'm starting to be annoyed with this planning process. It might be too stupid to understand what we're really after, in the sense that it's gonna be inefficient and it's gonna think a lot about details that are so easily changed and implemented later. Which coaching features are in V1? Coaching personality, name, character, direct, honesty. We told you already. Oh, I see. It's saying which other features. Batch logging. Yes, of course. Partial and progress. Let's see. Maybe not partial progress. Not necessary for now. Cross-session memory. Remembers patterns across days, week. It should probably do that. Which accountability features? Evening check-in, gap detection. You've skipped. So it's going too far now. It's going into details. It's going into the weeds. That's just gonna be confusing. This is something we need to figure out later after we have a feel. Why reconnection? What does that mean? Reminds you of your standard. That would be cool. Later on, it'll be aware of your goals and it'll give you good reasons why you should get back into it. Gap detection, streak celebrations. Wow. So now is the time to kind of move away a little bit from the spec-driven development here. Any requirement research missed? No, it's okay. We're going to have to think for ourselves now. What do you think, Navdeep? How can we take this problem and chunk it down?
I think we'll need to simplify it a bit more.
Yeah, we have to simplify
Like, find the very first simplest thing that we can implement.
Yeah.
Just going through the user stories.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll take a quick break. Okay, I'm back, a little bit recharged with some smoked tofu. And now let's just make sure we get an overview, a high level picture of what we're building so we can simplify it to the very kind of bare bone, the backbone. We have some kind of Claude Code running. And it's running inside a virtual private server.
I really like how it has listed the architecture, like the high level architecture under architecture approach.
Has it done
So
a
it's
good
going to
job?
have four. Yeah, it's a very brief overview of it. So it looks like the main process is going to be Claude Code, and if there's another process that it needs to fire, then it will fire itself. So we don't need to create multiple instances of Claude Code. So that's a good thing. And for Telegram, Habitify, and any other access control, we just need to configure it.
Cool, cool. So we just need to get Claude Code running on a VPS and connect it to Telegram. I think
Yep.
that's the first thing
I
we can
think,
do.
yeah.
Great. Let me just put up a little architecture diagram and let's make sure that's in line with what this planning process has yielded. Okay, so we have Claude Code.
Also, it looks like your screen has stopped sharing,
Oh yeah, let me just put that back.
right, on Google Meet.
Yeah. So we have Habitify MCP and Claude Code talking to it. And then we have Telegram / the user sitting over here. Well, there's the user obviously, and he's talking to Telegram. So what do you think should we focus on? I guess just building this connection between Telegram and Claude Code that's running in a VPS.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be the first step.
Good. Yeah, that's already a handful. Or a mouthful. I'm not sure how to say that. Okay. So let's then go into a VPS that I've already provisioned. It's running, it's ready to roll. And the way to open it would be to go into a terminal. And if you haven't configured one, or if you haven't built one yet, or you don't have a VPS, you can just do it without a VPS. You can do it locally on your computer and you just do Claude right here, right? And then you have a Claude instance running. But we're going to go first into our VPS because we want to build this in a way where it's independent of our local system running. And to get into a VPS, you have to kind of rent one, you have to buy one, whatever provider. I use Hostinger. And then you have to connect to it. And the way to connect to it is usually SSH. And I've already configured my SSH command so that it connects automatically to my hosting a server, and now we're inside another computer, right? We're actually talking to a computer that sits somewhere in Frankfurt. And in here we could run Claude, or we could run Claude inside a Docker. I think just to make things simpler, we can just run Claude for now and make sure it's actually installed properly here. Let me just run Claude and see what happens. Something happens. Yes, I trust this folder. Okay, so we're in my remote system and Claude is installed. I'm not sure which version is this. Can we find out what Claude version am I on? What Claude version am I on? Is this up to date? Okay, yeah. Actually, I meant the CLI. I guess I meant. So here it's asking.
So the latest one is 2.1.94.
Cool. Let's see what we have. We have 2.163, so it's not at all up to date, right?
2.163. Yeah.
Okay. So this thing can actually update for us. You're on, the latest is 2.9196. You're a bit behind to update. Okay, it's gonna ask us to do it. But we can just tell it, do it for us.
That's interesting.
NPM says it's updated, but the running session still reports the old version. Okay, we have to restart. And this time I'm going to start it with this dangerously skip permissions flag, so it doesn't ask us all the time before running commands. We trust it. It is battle tested. And now let's do it again. What CLI Claude version? We need the newest stuff because we're going to be using those features that are just released. Now we're on 63. Was that the same as before?
Yeah. It's pretty much the same.
Wow. Oh, I'm not on a paid plan for this transcription thing. So I'm just going to type. We tried to update to a newer version. It says that it actually did install 2.196. And we should restart again, but hey, we did that before. What can we do here?
Do you perhaps want to run the command on your own?
Say again?
Just to make sure.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to run the command?
Yeah, good idea.
And you can also verify the version by just saying Claude, is it dash dash version?
Nice. Claude.
Yep. Oh, okay. That is weird. Maybe try specifying the latest version, which is 2.1.96.
2.196.
Yeah.
It's not doing what we told it to do.
Hmm.
No, let's talk to Claude again. This is where I would get stuck programming a few years ago. I would try to do something and I'd run into some weird issue like this, and then I didn't know what to do, and then you're just stuck. But now this thing will usually help you out. Trying to install Claude CLI. Just doesn't. Found the problem. You have multiple Claude installations and the wrong one takes priority. Okay, I see. This is really bad. The fix is to remove the stale one. Yeah, let's remove that one. Yes, found the problem. You have multiple Claude installations and the wrong one takes priority. Okay, I see. This is really bad. The fix is to remove the stale one. Yeah, let's remove that one. My keyboard started acting up weird. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Now we get Claude doesn't really exist. No. We can't start Claude anymore because we removed the version that was being used. Found the problem. You have multiple Claude installations.
So the second one is under NVM.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So So how do we solve this now? Since we can't access Claude anymore. I had 2 Claude installations. Removed the local bin one. Now I can't open Claude anymore. Reload the shell. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, it was as easy as this. We just had to reload the shell so that it finds the paths again. I trust this folder, and now we are actually on a brand new updated Claude, finally. We recommend medium effort. No, we want high effort always. Effort determines how long Claude thinks for run completing. We want high. Voice mode is now available. Cool. What does that mean? Voice. Nice. We have integrated dictation now. We don't need those other transcription tools anymore.
I think you might have to check it because I tried it once and it did not work. Let me just try
Let's go.
using it, if it's working or not.
Okay. Oh. Keep holding. It's saying keep holding. Hello? Test? Hello? What's going on? No, it's not working.
No.
Maybe it's because we're in this remote server. I mean, this is a normal terminal. It should work. I'm pressing space. Hold space to record. No, okay. Oh, so sad, man. I was excited. Probably we're gonna get this to work somewhere else, not in this remote server for now. All right, what do we ask this thing now? We have Claude running now. Right, so we want you to basically stay open here and run 24/7 like an OpenClaw. Google it if you don't know what that is. And then connect you to a Telegram bot via Claude channel. So just because we've spent 1 hour kind of planning all this out and setting everything up, now we're kind of going back to square zero almost. But it wasn't in vain. What we did there by going through all this GSD stuff was to make sure that our plan has no big loopholes, no big gaps. We already have a plan. We could just follow that one, but we realized that the AI was not smart enough to really break down the work as much as we would have liked. So we simplified it even more from that plan, and now we said we're just going to build a simple Telegram connection to a running Claude instance on a remote server. That's what we're doing now. And now this is the shortest version to say that. So persistent always on Claude agent connected to Telegram as the communication challenge. Great. There are 2 main approaches. Option 1, use OpenClaw directly. We don't want that. Option 2, build a custom Telegram bot. If you want title control or want to use Claude Code specifically, yes. And this is again completely off. This is completely stupid.
Yeah. It's not an option to run it 24/7.
No, man. There is a new feature called channels. And let's just look that up, that feature. Wow, I didn't even ever know it still exists. Claude channels, we need some documentation on this. So here is apparently how you set up a channel. Claude Channels is a feature for Claude Code that allows you to control your local development sessions remotely via Telegram or Discord. It works by using a model context. Okay. How to set up the Telegram channel. Connecting Claude to Telegram requires creating a bot and installing the official plugin. Create a bot. Open bot file. Okay, we'll do that right away. And then we can install this plugin apparently. Plugin install. Okay, that's important. Let's see if the official documentation corroborates that. Telegram channel. We need a two-way channel because it should also reply. A channel with a trusted sender, blah, blah, blah. Overview what you need. Okay. So we'll kind of run a channel server, apparently. What you need. Here it seems like this Google AI answer was again misleading. Maybe this was again outdated. Okay, we need to always go back to the most recent documentation. AI tools cannot really help you. Build a webhook receiver. We need a recent blog post. We need someone who's done this with Telegram to explain to us what we need to pay attention to. This is too much information. Four days ago. This is also nice and recent. Perfect. How to set up Claude Code channels with Telegram. Step-by-step guide. So glad that there's just normal people out there who can speak to other normal people like us. Why connect Claude Code? If you're running Claude Code as an agentic coding assistant, you already know it can work through long multi-step tasks on its own. The problem is knowing what it's doing or when it's done without keeping a terminal window open the whole time. Knowing what it's doing, oh yeah. That's where channels come in. You get real-time updates, completion notification, and the ability to interact with your agent from your phone or any. This guide walks through the complete setups, creating a Telegram bot via bot father. Okay, what color? I don't know. Okay, let's just create that bot. If you want to, you can do this too on your phone. You go to the bot filer, Telegram contact, and say new bot. We'll call it buddy. And it's the AI accountability buddy bot. Maybe just accountability buddy bot. That's already taken. So AI accountability buddy bot. Here we go. We got that. We have the AI accountability buddy bot on Telegram. We have a token for it as well. And then configure bot privacy. Configure bot privacy. Set privacy. Do we need this to be private? Yeah, we should probably have this private. Okay, default options should be nice. Get your chat ID. The API token identifies your bot. The chat ID tells Claude Code where to send messages, specifically which conversation or channel to post into. Method 1, user helper bot. Okay. Go to the helper bot. So I'm just sending a message to the user info bot, but it's not sending anything back. Let's try this one, get ID bot. Okay, that worked. The get IDs bot gives me my ID, which is apparently the same as the chat ID. Hallo. Hinweis der Entwickler. ID. Okay, now we have this thing. With your bot token and chat ID in hand, it's time to wire everything into Claude Code. Locate the Claude Code config file. Claude Code stores its settings in a JSON configuration file, depending on your OS and installation. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start a Claude Code inside a tmux. And tmux is just another kind of terminal that stays open even if we close the window. So how do you start a tmux? You just say tmux, I guess. But I think it's good if you give it some kind of name. I want to give it a name. Tmux new as my session. All right, now we're inside tmux and we're going to say Claude. Okay. I want you to edit your own settings. And in what way? Well, we want it to do this thing here. So this is my ID. And I'm probably gonna have to do this off screen so that you guys can't see my API key that I got from the bot father. Yeah, so now I have filled in my own bot token and my chat ID into this JSON object here. And I'm going to now give that to Claude and say, write that into your settings. I'm going to do that on another screen so that you can't see my secrets. Okay, let's have a look what comes next. Verify the configuration via CLI. Claude Code refused to actually do what I asked it to do because it says this setting doesn't exist. This is a big problem. Have a look here. I'm not going to add that configuration. A few concerns. There is no channels or Telegram feature in Claude Code. This isn't a real setting. Claude Code doesn't have a notification channel system that integrates with Telegram. So it's not aware.
Yeah.
That's really shocking, right? That you can't use this tool if it doesn't know what it can do itself. That block contains sensitive credentials. A Telegram bot token chat ID storing these in setting file can... Oh man, if you got this from somewhere, I'd recommend revoking that. So that's quite confusing, huh?
Yeah, it's talking about help get a feature.
Let's ask Claude AI how to set up Claude with a Telegram channel. I heard
Claude
it's possible.
Code specifically.
Yeah, Claude Code. I've never had this much of a outright refusal from Claude or any AI to do what I asked it to do. It just said, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so an official Telegram plugin. I'm not sure if that's what we're talking about. It's an MCP server? Okay, maybe it's that.
Yeah, I think I did talk about it in the tutorial.
Yeah, but in this one, they don't really mention that plugin, you know?
No, I think they did. Somewhere at the start. Oh, maybe you're right. I think that was part of the official documentation of this.
Right. So in the additional of using the official channels plugin. They're not talking about a plugin. And the official one though. Use channels to push messages and so on. You install a channel as a plugin. Oh, I think it's the research preview feature. That's why.
So what does that mean for us?
We have to manually kind of activate this feature, I believe. Claude research preview. What do you think about Lovable, by the way? Lovable. Have you heard of it? Yeah, probably.
I tried it once. I never heard it's good for prototyping because the UI that it generates, it's really good, even if you just provide a simple prompt, but not for actual development of, like if you want to actually build something.
No, right?
Probably not. I think Replit is also pretty good.
Have you used it?
I think it might be better. I haven't really used it, but the company that I did my internship at, the founders were quite heavy users of it.
Yeah.
And they had very little technical background in software development, and they built the whole, like they built the full prototype using Replit.
Nice. Okay, we're
The day has come because
Now finally on YouTube, where they explain things in a way which actually makes sense.
Claude Code just launched channels, so you can now text your Claude sessions and come back to finish work. So let's quickly set it up together so we can all touch grass, okay? First thing to note is it's currently available for Telegram or Discord. I'm going to set it up in Telegram. Step 1, open Telegram and create your bot. Go to BotFather, name it, and grab that token. Step 2, you're going to install the plugin, open Claude Code in your terminal, and run the...
Okay, we're going to install this plugin first. It never works the way they show it. Wow, what is this here, buddy?
Installed.
Buddy, I like Buddy. They called it Buddy too. But we're struggling, man, because we're not able to connect Telegram through this new channels feature, which is unbeknownst to this agent right now. There's no way to talk about it with this guy. Plugin Telegram not found. What do you mean? It's supposed to be an official plugin. But this is a research preview, so maybe something else we need to do. Claude, team and supported channels, Telegram. Install and run a channel with fake chat, localhost. Who can push messages? Plugin install. It's not finding Telegram. So this is an error message that we should be able to Google. Stale cache or missing plugin registry. I agree. Plugin marketplace. Maybe this is a good command to run. Updated one marketplace. Look at this. It's found it. Plugin details, Telegram, messaging bridge with built-in access control, manage pairing, allow lists and policy via Telegram access, will install. Make sure you trust a plugin before. Install for you, install for all collaborators, install for you in this repo, install for me. Yeah. Install Telegram. Reload plugins. Now we have the plugins. Good. First step, finally. Man, this is pretty gnarly, right?
I also found a repo of a guy who has done something similar, and this project is about so it's called Claudegram, and it bridges Telegram to full Claude Code agent running locally on your machine.
When
We
did he
can probably
start?
try to.
When did he start building that? Do you know?
So his last deployment is 2 weeks ago.
It
And when
sounds
did
like
he
he started a
start?
long time ago. Sounds like he started maybe 2
Could be.
months ago.
Could be.
Because, yeah, sounds more old school. just because you don't need a repo for that anymore, because it's supposed to be just 3 or 4 commands. It's supposed to take 5 minutes, but it took us already more than an hour. If Claude Code reports that plugin is not found, oh, it actually gave us the exact command to fix it, but we didn't read. We were just impatient. All right, now we have to configure our token. Run the configure command with the token from botfather. Okay. Again, this I'm going to do on another screen. Telegram configure, and then I'm going to put the token in there. Unknown skill, Telegram configure. So this was not possible. It doesn't have that at all. Okay, turns out I just had to restart Claude Code. Then it actually found this new command, Telegram configure command. And now it's actually editing some files. Token set access. Okay. I'm going to show you guys again what's happening over here. So it created some kind of N file. It saved the token in that file. Access, no access JSON yet, so defaults apply. DM policy pairing. Anyone who DMs the bot gets a pairing code, but they can't interact until you approve it. Allowed senders none. Next step, DM your bot on Telegram to capture your own user ID. It will reply with the pairing code. Okay. I'm going to message my new bot now. Hello. DM your bot on Telegram to capture your own user ID. It will reply with a pairing code. Well, I just messaged it. It didn't reply with a pairing code. The bot server is likely not running yet. Let me check. It's so weird. I don't want this pairing codes business, to be honest. How does this YouTube girl explain it?
The plugin install command. Step 3, you want to take the token from Telegram and actually configure it. 4, open a new tab and restart Claude with the -- channels flag. This will...
We have to do this. -- channels. Do we have to start with dash dash channels? That's what she did here.
Start listening to Telegram DMs. And the last step is to pair your account. So try to send a DM, any word from your Telegram, and the bot will reply with a pairing code. Then.
Good question. Yes, you need to start with channels. It's so stupid. So we have to do it like this. I'm just gonna do along with dangerously skipping permissions. Now, finally, I believe we have a Telegram connected to a Claude. Listening for channel messages. Okay. And now when I message my bot that I created, hello, it still doesn't respond. No response. You should be listening to, once MCP server failed. Interesting, good to know. How difficult this is for two software engineers. Who's gonna set this up? OpenClaw is much easier in that way. Much easier. Because it's built for this. This is kind of a bolted on top.
Yeah.
Telegram plugin isn't enabled. So no access. No one, that's why your message didn't get through. Without a pair allowed, send the bot doesn't forward messages. Well, I did that, exactly that. Bun is not installed. Aha. So we need some additional scaffolding here. NPM is not enough. We need bun. I think that was mentioned somewhere. Bun. It requires bun. That's the reason. But it's great. It found out the problem. And it installed bun. Telegram MCP server should work now, but it needs to be restarted. You need to restart this Claude session or run reload plugins. Yeah, let's just restart. Wow, that's hard. So I just sent it another message. Nothing happening.
Still no response back.
Man, I'm running out of patience slowly here. One MCP server failed. What? The Telegram problem is enabled, but the important thing is, let me check if there's a polling process. Yeah, it's so crazy when people on Telegram, on Instagram, they say, yeah, Claude Code has this and that feature now, you can do this and that now, and then you try to do it, it just doesn't work. No webhook and no pending updates. Your message was likely already consumed by a previous polling session.
It's weird.
That's why you... Okay, token set. You know what? We're going to just change the policy so that everyone can message it, first of all.
Mm. Yeah, I think that might be the reason. Also, I'm gonna leave soon. It's getting pretty late here.
Yeah. Let's wrap up. We got not too far, but we got like a clear idea of where we want to go, and we know how difficult it is to even get the basic building blocks done. Just getting a Telegram to connect to Claude on a VPS. That's what we worked on today, and there's some work to be done to make it really work. But I think we're very close to getting that connection. And then once we have that connection, the next step would be to build the MCP connection from Claude Code to Habitify. And with those two building blocks, I think we have the basic functionality. And then we can think last about the dispatch, the automatic kind of coming to life and proactively polling the user thing, right? Cool. Maybe we should wrap it up here. I'm just gonna try this a couple of more times. Even if you leave, I will just try to finish this. But looking at my calendar, I think I also can't stay much longer. And yeah, probably we didn't have anyone watching this. That's a good thing because we were just hacking around in the dark. It was a fun first step, good start. Excited
I
to
think I
do this.
did so. 2 users watching, like it is fluctuating between 1 and 2 a couple of times.
Interesting.
I'm gonna like this one.
Yes, allow from Claude Code. Yes, allow this. So now I'm allowing my Telegram ID to message. Let me also create the approved file so the server knows you're prepared and acknowledge your message by confirming the update. What the hell? What did it just do? Oh, yeah. Now we got a reply from our body. I don't know what was needed, to be honest, but we just kind of manually approved my idea. Let me just see what actually happened here. What did you do to fix it? I did get a reply now. Okay, here we have. I manually did the work the plugin server should have been doing. Poll Telegram's API to grab your message, created access JSON with your user ID in the allow list, sent a reply directly via the Telegram bot API. But this was a one-off. I manually called the API. The plugin server that's supposed to be calling continuously in the background wasn't running. So if you send another message right now, it'll sit there undelivered again until either you restart this Claude Code session, so the Telegram, or I keep manually polling. Okay, well, we're gonna restart this Claude Code session then. Yes, I trust this folder for the 10th time. And now it should actually reply. It already sent immediately something. Hi.
Ooh.
But it's not replying though.
I think it's still thinking.
Ah. Oh my goodness, yeah. Just realizing. So cool.
This is really interesting.
This is the cool thing now, it's running on a Tmux in a VPS.
Yeah.
So this thing can stay on. This is now basically an OpenClaw rebuild. I can go home now, message this thing from a Telegram, and have access to Claude Code on my subscription. Pretty cool, right?
It is pretty good.
You rock. Looks like there's something that help. Let me know if there's something I can help you. Okay, and then it's sending these messages back. Okay, thanks. Is there anything I can help you with today? Nice. Okay, I think that's a good point to stop, right? We got the first connection.
Got the first step done. So the first integration is here now.
The first connection.
Do we need to?
Yes.
I think that should do it.
What did you want to ask?
I wanted to ask, like, if it's public or if it's just allowing you.
It's only allowing me. It has this allow
Okay,
list.
that's good.
I want to make it public, but it turns out you can't even have it public. It's only either pairing or allow list. So this is done. User can talk to Telegram and Telegram can talk to Claude Code. Great, let's celebrate this. And
We have the OpenClaw setup.
Wait, I just realized my audio is not coming through my AirPods anymore because I just ran out of battery as well. So my equipment is starting to give up on me. Can you say something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you again. Any closing comments from you, Navdeep? How did it feel?
It felt like there was a lot of setup, but it's like now that we've done the setup, we can probably like summarize it, and the setup, I think it won't be too long, maybe just a couple of commands.
Yeah, right.
Because we had to like pick out information from different places. I mean, you did most of it.
Good. Next time we'll probably be much more in the code base and less in the terminal.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. I'll see you then, huh? Bye-bye.
All right. See you.
Thanks everyone for joining. Have a great week. And yeah, I'm going to probably do another session, maybe with you, Navdeep, if you want to, and we'll build out the rest of this. Also, if you're curious about using agentic systems for language learning, I have a language learning app that teaches you currently just German, but in the very near future, you can also learn any other language with that application, and it teaches you by speaking. So you speak to an AI and it knows what you need to learn at each level, and it helps you save all the insights. It helps you store all the words and helps you repeat all the things that you want to practice. It has complete awareness over your current level and what you need to learn next, and it knows how to challenge you. So very excited to build that. Still, of course, in the process of building it out, but it's called confit.ai. You can download it for free, and then you get some free credits every day. You can practice for free. If you want to get more, you'll be asked to subscribe. But I think 5 minutes per day is all you need to get to a solid kind of beginner level. I do 20 minutes, 30 minutes per day because I want to get really good at Hindi, want to get really good at Spanish, and I want to learn Turkish as well. So I'm now building it out so that it can teach multiple languages. Again, thanks for joining. I'll end this live stream here. Hopefully I'll find the right button. Stop streaming, yeah. Namaskar, bye-bye.
All right. See you.